Hello, welcome back to another No Money Spent episode. I think this is episode 13 now. So I'll be honest, there's not all that much to go over in this one because I really didn't do much other than play ranked season since the last episode. The ranked season was coming to an end, so I had to do what I could to make it to World Series. So that was pretty much all I was doing, and I wasn't playing all that much in general. But there is still some stuff to go over, some packs to open. So first things first, I think I had mentioned in the last one how close I was to a couple of these prestige programs. And you probably saw as I went past my squad there what I did. So we had Bob Feller prestige for the last one, but we got Todd Helton done. He only needed a couple RBI. Those were acquired all in one game. He all of a sudden had a burst where he got like 5 in one game. And then we also finished Chipper. He only needed, I think, a couple hits and a couple runs since the last one. So he did that. I was struggling with him getting base hits. And then there was the game he needed one more hit in the next game to get his prestige. And then that game he ended up going 4 for 4. So I don't know what it was with both Helton and Chipper. They both weren't doing that great. And then all of a sudden they just went crazy. But I forgot with Helton, I wanted to show the stats with these guys before I got them prestige. So Chipper Jones, he had just under 250 plate appearances. A lot of these came from that switch hitter event. So that's also probably why his batting average and some of his numbers seem a little inflated because of all that playing on all-star difficulty and stuff like that. But he was still really good. Lots of power. 30 home runs in that amount of time. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, he had a 1353 OPS. So overall, this card was really good for me. And he's even better with his prestige, as we know. And then Todd Helton, I used him a lot at the beginning, close to the beginning of the year in ranked. So he managed to stay over a 300 average by the time that I'm now done with him. Just under 450 plate appearances, finishing with 27 home runs, a lot of doubles. He was a really good card, and he's good in the field. So I'm really excited to see what he can do as a prestige, as a 94 overall now at first base. I will be honest, though, I don't know how much longer I see myself using this card. I was still using the 91 pretty much only to get him prestige, but there are a lot more first base options now in the game that are probably better than Todd Helton. But I want to give him a try for a little bit, and I did. I played 4 games with him as I was making my World Series push, and he did okay, but it's all in Hall of Fame difficulty. So, but I'm also extremely close with Shane Victorino too. So I only need 28 more hits with him, and then 3 RBI, 5 runs. So it's basically only the hits that I need now. So that should come relatively quickly, and I actually really like the Diamond Victorino, the 94. So I'm pretty excited to get him prestige too, because I actually could see myself using him for a little while, at least until I get Mickey, because I don't know, for some reason the 94 for me has been really good. He hits for a weirdly high amount of power, but then the rest of these guys aren't really close. Like Brian Roberts and Duke Snyder are a little over halfway done. Oswald actually is starting to get kind of close, but I still have maybe a third of the way to go with him. But I don't know, I just have a completionist mentality here. I know there's better options than a lot of these guys, but I just know that I want to get these guys prestiged. So I'm still trying. I'm still going for it. So we're going to get as many of these guys prestiged as we can throughout this year. So next thing we're going to do here is our obligatory 1 collection per episode. This time we're going to be finishing the NL East. I bought Max Scherzer. He is in the binder, in the inventory. So we're going to select that. We're going to lock him in. And the Nationals collection is complete. We got that Vlad. And I'm going to be able to go and get... I actually forget who it is. Who is it? Mike Schmidt. Okay, that's not the best. But what does he have? He has a lot of... Yeah, he's really good against lefties. So I don't know. He could be a bench bat. But we got 4,000 stubs, 7,000 XP out of it. So we are obviously getting really close. 4 more teams left, 4 more cards to get, but they're all pretty expensive. But yeah, we're getting really close. And if I sell everyone that I can, we're honestly probably not too far away. Like, I would honestly guess if I sold everyone that I could right now, we might be like 200 to 250 stubs away from being able to get everybody. So that's still a lot. So we still have a long way to go, and the prices are a little bit inflated right now because of the stub sale, but we're getting real close, and it's getting there. Like one good pull from a pack could get this done. And speaking of packs, this episode is going to be a little restructured. So we're going to save the packs to the end because the gameplay in this video is something I already recorded. I'm going to go back and commentate over it. But as I mentioned, I was making my World Series push, the last minute World Series push, and that was actually earlier this morning. The season was ending by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I started the day at an 860 rating, and I thought, it was going to be relatively smooth sailing getting all the way up there, but I just couldn't mount a winning streak. I think I lost and I won, then I lost and I won, so it kept going back and forth, and I couldn't make any progress. But then with under an hour to go, I was at an 859 rating, and I loaded into a game, and the guy fortunately quit like in the third inning. So all I needed was a large amount of rating points, and I got that. I got 22 out of that game. So after that point, I only needed 19 more rating points, and I had plenty of time to get another game in and try and get those last 19 rating points. So that is what you're about to see with the gameplay here, and that's why we're putting off packs till the end, because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil whether or not I made it, because obviously if we go into the pack inventory to open the packs, either I'll have the pack and then it's spoiled that I had made it, or I wouldn't have the pack and it's spoiled that I didn't make it. So we're restructuring this episode. The gameplay is going to come up next, and then we'll open packs after that. So without any further ado, this is the final game that I played to try and make it into World Series. 45 minutes left to go before the ranked season is ending, and we are 19 rating points away from World Series, so anything but a guarantee is what this game is to make World Series if I win. But there was enough time that if I won quickly, I might be able to fit in a second game if it didn't give me all 19 points. But I would have to win. If I lost, this is over. The stream's over, and I'm starting with a great swing from Victorino, and it barely has any exit velo. This left a sour taste in my mouth for a very long time, more than it should have in this game. But as you can see here, we're already in the third inning. This was an absolute pitcher's duel until Eddie turns on a cutter that I couldn't get inside. That was the first hit of the game for either side. A good okay swing, but it was far from good okay. I mean, that ball was launched. So he struck first against Corey Kluber, and then I finally get a hit here in the fourth to break up his perfect game. Chipper Jones rocketing that ball. So both of our first hits were really good swings, but his managed to get out, and we ended up not being able to do anything with Jones's double there as Didi strikes out. So he's got the advantage in this one. Now into the fifth, we got Brian Roberts at the plate, and he is going to get himself a cheap hit for our second hit of the game. And don't worry, his second hit of the game was even more cheap than that, so I didn't feel bad about it at that time. And I wanted to swipe second here because Duke Snyder in the 8-hole, if he managed to get a hit, we had to send Roberts around to score because the pitcher was up next, and he gets that hit, but it was hit a little bit too hard. So I couldn't send him because that was a guaranteed out. So I figured I'll take my chances with Kluber. I can't take him out yet because he's pitching such a good game, and he actually turns on the pitch. He hits that into the gap, and it bounces over the wall, which was a shame because that would have easily been a second run and given us the lead if that didn't bounce over the wall. But then Victorino, he couldn't keep it going, so he tied it up with Kluber. He's doing it all in this game. That was a huge at-bat there, unexpected. And now in the seventh, we are moving so fast through this game because literally nothing happened. It was a pitcher's duel, but Posey taking that ball to the opposite field, going with the pitch, a curveball outside of the zone, but he hits it good enough to get that one out. So we're taking a 2-1 lead, and now in the seventh here, this was pretty much, besides that home run, the first hard hit ball that he had all game. So Kluber was really keeping him off the bases, keeping him from making hard contact. But then here, it's going to be an out, but it was a hard hit line drive. And then Giambi is going to hit one scarily close to getting out, but the ball seems to be staying in, and Chipper locks in on that one. But after all that hard contact and Kluber leading off the next inning, I knew it was time for him to be done. I didn't want to leave him in too long, so I took him out for Hanley. Hanley manages to get a perfect. I just wanted to include that, but nothing came of it. So I brought in Zach Britton here. He brought in Aaron Judge to pinch hit, and he's going to work the walk right away. So the exact opposite of what you want to start. Then he brings Mondesi for his pitcher. I struck him out there, but then Sandberg goes with the sinker, and Snyder almost makes that play. Luckily, the threat of that play being made had to hold up that runner at first, so he couldn't come all the way around to score, but I knew Zach Britton wasn't going to be the key here. So I intentionally walked the next guy to load the bases, brought in Rodney. He immediately comes in and gets a huge strikeout, but then Chipper Jones, the away fastball, and my Chipper Jones just barely cannot get there. And that in the bottom of the 8th is one of the worst things to happen. We give up a 3-run base clearing double in the bottom of the 8th. I managed to get the next guy out, but I was fuming at this point. If I lose, it's over. And the clock is ticking. It is close to 5 o'clock. I had to win this game in order to keep my hopes alive. And at this point, it was getting real close to 5 o'clock with the season ending. So I had to win it quick, too. So we were able to work a walk there. I pinch hit with Ryan Sandberg. He walks me in 4 pitches. He was struggling to find the zone, but Posey rockets that one. In that right there, I thought the game was over. If my luck was going to go that way, I did not think I was going to pull this off. But Todd Helton with a perfect swing. That gets him on base. We got 2 runners on. The tying run is on first all of a sudden. So now Brian Roberts at the plate. He left Chapman in, still wild, and he walks Roberts to load the bases. The tying run's on second. Now this was a chess game because I did not want Duke Snyder hit against the lefty, but I knew he didn't want to stick with Chapman. So I brought in a righty. He immediately brings out Chapman, puts in Raleigh. So then I go for a lefty in Eddie. I knew this was going to happen. I didn't want to waste a guy, but it just had to go that way because I wasn't going to face his lefty with Duke Snyder. But then Eddie comes in and he comes through. He puts that one down the line. That's going to score 2, if not 3. But I decide to hold Roberts up at third with only 1 out. I figured there was still a chance to get him around. I brought in Yelich for my pitcher. He got walked with the open base. So now Victorino's coming in. I thought about suicide squeezing. I didn't want to do it on the first couple of pitches in case he was looking for it. But that slider fooled me. I don't even know why I was swinging if I wanted to suicide squeeze. And I thought my best option was to try and hope for a bad animation, try and get Roberts around to score, but he guns me down at the plate. So this one's going in extras. My fate has been sealed. If I don't win this game and I don't get, or even if I win the game and I don't get 19 points, it's over. Like I don't make World Series this season because this game lasted too long. But Raleigh Fingers coming in, making sure that this game goes in extras because all I can do at this point is win and hope that I get all the rating points that I need. But we're back in the 10th, and this has got to be gone, right? Off the bat, it sounded great, it looked great, but it dies just at the wall. Carlos Correa, how does that not leave? And then Chipper Jones, the next batter, another good swing, and it gives me okay contact. So 2 great swings with 2 great players, and that's what I had. So I lost all confidence at this point. I didn't know if I was going to win. And I forgot to mention here earlier, I really screwed up. I didn't double switch and move Yelich to right. So I had to leave Eddie in right, and Eddie doesn't have right field as a secondary, so he was out of position, but he still managed to make that play, and it said he had bronze fielding. Raleigh Fingers got through 3 scoreless innings of relief, so he was locking him down, but then I had to bring in Eckersley because Raleigh's day was done. Eckersley immediately gives up a base hit and a walk, so we are not in a good spot here, and he brings in Didi. He still has bench bats, I don't. And Didi, with him being so good against righties, I thought this game was over. But he reaches for that fastball and just misses it, and it doesn't quite do anything. So we still got life. We got to get this last out. And Sandberg grounds out to my Sandberg, so we're still alive here going into the top of the 13th. By this point, it was like 5:15, so we are well past the point of being able to start a second game. So he brought in his Eckersley. That fastball up and away for some reason was giving me fits. I struck out there. I took that pitch with Posey, but I kind of knew it was coming again because it was fooling me. So I was ready for it, and Posey turns on it. His second home run of the day. The game finally gave me something. Buster Posey with the biggest hit of the whole year in MLB The Show this year. So I brought in Chapman because he was hitting Eckersley pretty good. Chapman's still tough to hit, but he turns on that fastball. So he's sitting up and in against Chapman. So I am not throwing that pitch again. Now, luckily, I got that pitch high enough that he couldn't do much more than that with it. So then I go to throw the slider low and in. He check swings, and they gave it to me. Everything was aligning here. Finally, I'm getting check swings called for me on the mound. And now Chipper, early timing on the fastball away. He can't do anything more than a weak fly out to left. And I did it. We won the game. But at this point, it's not over. The miracle hasn't happened yet. We won the game. It was a great game. Best game I've played all year. I still need 19 rating points. It is everything but a guarantee that you're going to get 19 rating points at the end of a game, especially when you're up in championship series like that, the upper end of championship series. So we're going to load out of this game here, cross our fingers, and okay, this loading screen's taking more than I thought, but we did it! 900 exactly was achieved. Not a spare point for an error there. We got exactly 19, and that's how my ranked season ends. We made World Series. So that was that. As you saw, extremely stressful game to end the season. I cannot believe that I pulled that one out. And that was literally do or die. I mean, it was past 5 o'clock. It was well past 5 o'clock by the time that game was over. So I obviously wouldn't have been able to get another one in. So there was so much stuff that had to go right there. We hit exactly 900 on the rating. I was in shock, and then I was just exhausted afterward. Oh man, but we made it. We made the World Series. I really didn't think it was going to happen this season, but I managed to clutch up. So the only thing left is we do have packs open then. So we have 14 show packs. We've got a ball and pack, and then we've got the Championship Series pack, the World Series pack, and then the World Series Choice pack, along with the High Diamond pack. We're still saving the affinities. I know I've been saving them for the longest time. It's going to happen. There's nothing in the way this next week from me playing a bunch of showdowns to make affinity progress. So let's just start ripping into these 14 show packs. One good pull is going to change anything. If I could, hey, we start out with a gold and a good gold at that. Nice couple thousand. But man, if I could manage to get one high diamond, then it changes everything. And we're going to be able to get Mickey like a lot quicker. But I'm also kind of disappointed because with the new rank season starting and everything, I was hoping it would give me the rewards up to the point that it like reset you at, because then I would be able to get to level 85 diamond, which would get me a free non-sellable live series diamond player from the XP reward path. And I was kind of hoping it would give me the XP from the new ranked season before playing a game, because sometimes it does that, but it hasn't yet, and I don't really feel like playing a ranked seasons game just to get that. So I guess we're gonna have to wait on that. But I'm just kind of rambling to try and get through these packs, and we're really not getting anything. We only had the one gold to start, and we've got nothing since then. I feel like I have not had, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering, but I really don't remember that great of things being pulled out of the show packs lately. I mean, I know I pulled Mookie Betts a couple times, but I can't remember if those were out of show packs or ballin' packs or what. But I don't know, man. These show packs, especially this bunch right here, not good. Not good in the slightest. Man, we really didn't get any. We got JD, and then that was it. A couple of silvers. I guess I kind of did things out of order. Usually I would open these things up first. So we'll go ahead and do this. The Championship Series pack, I think, yeah, it's just a gold player. So I'm going to go ahead and sell him. And then this is just the icon and nameplate. Second one of each. Nice to see. And then we have this high diamond from the XP reward path. It's going to be the last one, and I think, yeah, it's Willie McCovey's the only one left that we don't have, so I'll go ahead and pick him, round that out, and then we've got everybody from that pack. So next here we have the Ballin' pack, and I debated whether or not to save this because this technically is from one of the affinities, but I'll be able to get extra Ballin' packs, I think, because I do think it will be fun when I do that big pack opening that I'm hoping that I get to do. I'll have like 30 Ballin' packs to open, but hopefully I get to that point. We're gonna rip into this one. Hopefully it makes it worth it. Let's get something good. And nothing. A gold, of course. I don't know. I mean, I did pull what? I think I pulled 3 diamonds in a row out of Ballin' packs, so they might be a little cold for the next little bit. But we do have this last pack here, the World Series Choice pack, and the players from the last ranked season was Griffey and Dustin May, and I'm going to be selling whichever one I get, but I'm going to wait a little bit because I think their prices are going to go up like just a little bit with the new ranked season starting. I mean, they already have Dustin May's price has already gone up like 10K since the new season started. So I'm probably going to hang on to him just for a little bit to see if his price goes up anymore. But I'm going to end up selling him. He is good, but I just feel like at this point, being so close to Mantle, I value the stubs more. But Dustin May, for the time being, is joining the squad. I might pitch with him one game or give him a little bit of a try before I sell him. But that's that. And as far as what I'm hopefully going to be doing for the next episode, like I mentioned, there really isn't anything left in my way to make a big run here at playing showdowns for these team affinities, because I'm not worried about making World Series right now. I have no moments to do for anything. The program's done. All the player programs are done. I'm not really interested in this event. The only thing that might hamper all my showdown playing is it says here, a new event starting June 11th, which is 3 days from now. So depending on what that is, I might play that. But other than that, all I really plan on doing on this game is just playing a bunch of showdowns to make as much progress as I can towards these affinities. And hopefully, sooner rather than later, I can finally manage to open all those packs that I've been saving up in my inventory, and we'll have like 250 to open and a bunch of Ballin' packs, and it's just gonna be a blast. But until then, that is all I've got for you guys. Make sure if you enjoyed this, hit that like button for me and subscribe. We're closing in on Mickey Mantle, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see the next couple No Money Spent videos as we get closer to that. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.